Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Watching a new MCU movie, a Marvel movie, nowadays, it seems to have lost a lot of the charm, the beauty and the magic that was very apparent when, just up till 2019, I should say. And since then, there have been a couple of good ones, like, of course, the very last, the Thor films, the Guardians of the Galaxy. Of course, Spider-Man is there with Tom Holland, and of course you have Doctor Strange. I don't know if you're getting more Doctor Strange movies, but yeah. Needless to say, I kind of view anything in the MCU right now with a skeptical eye. I don't know. It just seems like the charm has gone out of the films, but this one was not bad. It isn't as good as the other ones, but it was a good watch, nevertheless. Captain America, Brave New World. Now, I know a lot of people, especially in the United States, might have a problem with Sam Wilson basically taking over the mantle of Captain America, the actor Anthony Mackie being black. Um, to me, that's not much of a problem, but the problem is he's he doesn't have the charm of, that's the word, charm. He doesn't have the charm of Chris Evans. And Chris Evans was perfectly cast as Steve Rogers. I mean, he played that to it, and he oozed charisma. Even when he isn't saying much, he oozed charisma. Much like Robert Downey Jr. He is Iron Man, to be honest. He is Tony Stark. So, trying to see Sam Wilson as Captain America, I know I did watch The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Wasn't the greatest. It was kind of boring for me, to be honest. Very little that actually I remember to be. It's not very memorable. I've only watched it once, so that's the other thing. I don't feel like really rewatching it anytime soon. But I will eventually. I have to rewatch the Captain America movies to do the reviews anyhow. So maybe after that. So this one, Brave New World, is the 35th film in the MCU. It is directed by Julius Onah, and you have Anthony Mackie coming in as Sam Wilson, taking the new mantle as Captain America, alongside Danny Ramirez, who wants to be the new Falcon, and I think towards the end of the movie, he basically gets that role. You also have Shira Haas, Carl Lumbly, I think that's how you pronounce it, Lumbly. I remember him in Battlestar Galactica, one episode of Battlestar Galactica. He was very memorable in that role. Shosa Rockmore, I guess that's it. Giancarlo Esposito, that guy was born to play villains. Liv Tyler's got a small little role, Tim Blake Nelson, and Harrison Ford making his MCU debut at the age of 80. Yeah. I think a lot of this movie kind of depends on watching Harrison Ford, to be honest. He's 82 now, sorry. And him taking over the role of the US President, now US President, Thaddeus Ross, I think that's how you pronounce it. I was more interested in seeing that rather than seeing Anthony Mackie play Captain America. I wasn't sure how he would do as Captain America on the big screen rather than the streaming series, but he did okay. I'm not going to complain too much. He did okay. But if you want to compare him and Chris Evans, there's a big difference, and that's hard to say without looking down on Anthony Mackie, and I really don't want it to sound like that. It's just that he doesn't really have the presence of Chris Evans, and it's very, very obvious. Right? Everybody says. Harrison Ford as Thaddeus Ross Pheasant. You are not Steve Rogers. So, yeah. So basically, in this movie, there is this, the presidency being, he's elected, General Thaddeus Ross is elected President of the United States. There is this group of classified items stolen by a character called Sidewinder and his mercenary group named Serpent, and he is sent by this character called Dr. Samuel Stearns. So initially they don't really realize it, and he's got these powers that can control people, make them do things against their will, and he shows it really in good form. He and one of the other key things is that Ross basically wants to bury the hatchet with Sam Wilson and invite him to be part of their plans and stuff. He kind of extends an olive branch. Unfortunately, things goes wrong when Wilson's invitee to the White House, Carl Lumbly playing Bradley, and Torres, Joaquin Torres. They are there. They there to have a good time. They have some drinks. They go to limo. They go to the White House, where Ross wants to have a global agreement on how to divide the resources on the new metal adamantium, which was discovered on Celestial Island, which basically at the end of the Eternals, you see that creature trying to come out of the Indian Ocean, and once he gets stuck and frozen there, that's the element. That's the new element. That's actually the new metal, and it's even more powerful than vibranium. So he doesn't want it to be like vibranium, which is solely was there on Wakanda, so those kind of things. And of course, there is an assassination attempt on Ross by some of the people there, including Bradley. So he's arrested finally. I mean, he's taken down by Sam Wilson, asked to surrender rather than escape. And there's also this character, a former former Black Widow lady, Ruth Batsaraf, who is the head of security. And she is played by Shira Haas, right? So, there's this political thing going on with Japan and the US possibly heading towards war because he wants the adamantium that's there in Japan. The Prime Minister of Japan also claiming ownership of the adamantium. And there's a lot of things. So anyway, I'm not going to go too much deep into that, but you do see quite a bit of it. And this is something very similar to Steve Rogers and finding Falcon as his kind of like sideman, somebody he can trust and go along. Torres becomes the one for him. Although I would have thought it would have been Bucky Barnes coming in once again, but Bucky Barnes is going to be Thunderbolts, so yeah, he's stepping out on his own as well, and he's going to become he's going to become a congressman. So yeah, Sebastian Stan has a small role basically as Bucky Barnes in this cameo appearance. He's campaigning to be a congressman basically. Yeah. So what do I think about this film? The acting wise, like I said, he does a good job. Anthony Mackie, I wouldn't say he's the best. It's kind of like you've seen a really good casting, and he voluntarily wanted to step down from the role. That's what I heard anyway. And now you have the next best thing, I suppose, is what they're saying. But I know it just feels very empty, to be honest. Like I'm not really comparing this to especially the last two Captain America films, which is The Winter Soldier and my favorite MCU movie, which is Civil War. I love Civil War. It's very, very difficult, and also, to be honest, some of that rap music also gets on my nerves. I don't know. You tend to have it with a lot of Black American actors, especially, even some British actors, but it can't stand that. Did I like Danny Ramirez as Torres? It was okay. The new Falcon, he's kind of like fine, it's just that he's there. He's supposed to be a little bit of comedic relief as well. Shira Haas as Ruth, her fighting skills are pretty good. She's wearing a suit basically, and most of the time yeah, she's okay. I can't, to be honest, I don't like the Bradley character. Carl Lumbly is like, he's like, there's hardly much difference between him laughing and like being emotional as well. He kind of does the same thing. So that's kind of odd. Um, Zosha Rockmore as Leela Taylor, again, she's there. She's working for President Ross. She has a history with Wilson. Basically, she's supposed to be the next romantic interest as in the comics, but they don't really show anything in the movie for it. Giancarlo Esposito, like I said, he is a villain's villain, to be honest. Like, he is the Eddie Van Halen of villains. As I can say. He doesn't have that big a role, but yeah, when he is there, you tend to notice him. Liv Tyler's got a very tiny role towards the end, coming to see her dad. Tim Blake Nelson as Samuel Stearns, good enough villain. I wouldn't complain too much, but it's okay. Harrison Ford, like I said, the main reason for me to really want to watch this movie and looking forward to is to watch him as Thaddeus Ross and becoming the Red Hulk, Red Ross. If you're a Friends fan, you know exactly what is Red Ross. So he wants to work with Captain America, despite all the problems he's had before, but he's turning on new leaf. He was dying, he's been taking these pills, and the gamma radiation makes him into this Hulk character, but he's red. Right? And yeah, despite all bulking up and all that, the rest of the clothes being up, the band stayed the same. And I don't know if Ford is going to be in another MCU movie because he is 82 after all. So. And yeah, that's basically it for this movie. It was good enough. I'll give it a 7.5 out of 10. It was very watchable, but it's just like when you compare it with the other movies. Not really. Oh yeah, I did like Takahiro Hira as the Japanese Prime Minister Ozaki. Now he was really good. That's it. I don't really have any other thoughts about this movie. It was okay. 7.5 out of 10. Good night.